Music. It is moral law. It gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything.
Music is basically my life.
When I listen to a song, I get goosebumps. I feel a little like butterflies inside of me almost. And when I play it, I feel a sense of relief, like satisfaction.
If I would go to sleep, I would listen to music. I would just plug in my headphones or use my little speaker and just have it right there. And like since I would leave on some orchestra music, like some symphonies or so, all night.
Yes, these students of music have all connected in a way only a few would ever understand.
It happened for me. It happened for me, and ever since that I keep to my trumpet.
Even though the passion of these young students is evident, they still have had a rough time convincing family and friends that for them, music is more than a hobby.
When I first started out, like everyone just said, oh, this is a waste of time. Oh, you won't get anywhere with this. It's just like you should just stop doing this and do something that makes more sense.
And the reason why they think it's a waste of time, and it's not only music, it's the same thing goes with sports, everything, is because it's seen as a hobby. And that is exactly our job right now at Niche. Our job is to take it from the hobby realm over into the career realm, where we say, you know what? If you want to spend time perfecting this and working at it, you can make money out of it, you can make a career out of it.
A daunting task it is, and through the National Youth Orchestra of Belize, having grown to 44 members strong, this focused group of musicians has been making deliberate strides in Belize. One corporation that has taken notice is the Belize Bank.
Being the largest and perhaps the most prominent bank in Belize, we feel that we have a sense of obligation to give back to the communities we serve. And we do not serve any one particular community, we serve the entire community of Belize, so that as a result of that, we have different activities which service the needs of indigent individuals. We have programs that service the needs of kids who are involved in sporting activities, cultural activities. We obviously have an educational program that we're involved in. And of course, the cultural initiative which we established last year with the Philharmonic Youth Orchestra of Trinidad and Tobago. I had the benefit of seeing what happened in Trinidad, and I felt, Belizean kids are no different to Trinidadian kids. And if what transpired in Trinidad, took place, then certainly there was an opportunity that we could have a similar impact in the context of Belize. So it's against that background that we felt, we can collaborate with the National Youth Orchestra of Belize and Niche to bring the two groups together.
It was through this collaboration between the Belize Bank and Niche that a few young persons from the National Youth Orchestra of Belize were given the opportunity of a lifetime to play with the Trinidad and Tobago Youth Philharmonic in the Twin Isle Republic.
The news about going to Trinidad to play with the Trinidad and Tobago Youth Philharmonic, it was incredible. Mr. called me and he said, Chelsea, we selected you to go to Trinidad to play TTYP. Do you accept? And I'm like, yes, Mr. Young, of course, I'm gonna go.
The main criteria was they had to show an interest in their instrument and they were thinking career in their instrument. That was the main criteria. In addition to that though, Daron was a little bit more so because in his case, he plays a very unique instrument, the bassoon. And we don't have any teacher for the bassoon permanent in Belize. So for us, that provided an opportunity for him to be able to learn more about the instrument from a good instructor abroad.
The need of more professional musicians in Belize is like very high, we really need them. And so I see it as an opportunity.
This opportunity gave them a unique experience to see the level of discipline and dedication young musicians from other countries put into their respective art forms.
They were kind of shocked when they went over there and found out that kids were practicing 10 hours a day. And for them and for us in Belize, sometimes if they don't feel like it, they don't pick up their instrument sometimes for 2 or 3 days. If they, in other words, they treat it like a hobby. And all of a sudden they're amongst people who are really dead serious about what they're doing. So for them it was an eye-opener.
They were musicians young as me and younger than me, playing at such a high level. So I was like, why can't I play like this? You know?
If I didn't practice, it showed, and everybody would know, wow, she does not practice. Like she needs to like buckle down, you know. I didn't want to be seen as that person, especially since I was from Belize and I'm going to another country. I didn't want to bring the orchestra down. I mean, they're already good, so I have to be up there too.
I will never go to orchestra practice and expect them to teach me my music. Like I would always learn it myself. You know, and that's a big thing in Trinidad, because even though the instructor in Venezuela are there to help you, they will not help you learn your music. You have to do that yourself. What they will do is just guide you to important parts in the music. This is something that a lot of people don't understand with practice and rehearsing. Practice is when you're actually learning the music, and rehearsing is actually when you come together as a group and actually rehearse all the parts. So meaning you cannot go to a rehearsal expecting that you'll be practicing, because that's not the purpose of rehearsals, right? You need to go to rehearsal already know your music.
Certainly, this opportunity shifted the perspective of these young musicians. Having expanded their knowledge base and their general understanding of music, it is the shared hope of the Belize Bank and Niche that these young persons will pass on the knowledge they have acquired so that other young musicians can benefit from it.
Well, the idea is each one teach one. So you have gotten this opportunity, you've gotten back home. It's now up to you to share that experience with your brother or your sister or a fellow member of your orchestra, so that they would benefit, if not directly, tangentially, from the experience that they had.
Those who go now are much better equipped to advise and eventually down the road teach.
I plan to try and go and get my degree, try to go further in music, get my degree, and start teaching music to others and helping them realize and understand what music is really about and how can it impact your life as much as it has impacted mine.
Coming back to Belize, we're going to use that same method that we learned and use it and apply it to the orchestra here, kind of to make it grow, you know, mentoring the other musicians so that they don't have to go right now at this point in time to Trinidad to learn the skills. I go and I teach it to them.
Chelsea, Darren and I will be the bright star to spark up the fire in the orchestra and show them how hard we had to work when we were in Trinidad. That will actually say to them, well, you know, we need to do something different.
The tendency for most corporations is that they tend to sponsor stuff that does not really help the young people in. It is more like one big party, they jump in and they sponsor, and after the big party there's a hangover, and then it's all finished. But when you really look at it long term, it never really did help the young people. Now things like what the orchestra do, now you're developing young people. So those are much, much better events for corporations to involve themselves with. And I do think Belize Bank has taken the lead with this, and I hope to see other corporations getting involved in these type of events that develop our young people.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank God for getting me so far, you know, because without Him, nothing is possible, you know. And like, I would like to thank Mr. Young too, because he's one of the persons that helped created one of these opportunities. I would like to thank my music teachers. From my first music teacher, Mr. Bennett, I'm still grateful for him because he started me off. So then when I met Mr. Bradshaw, I was already on a little level, so I didn't had to start from way beginner, you know. And so he just picked up from there and just helped me grow. more, and to a few other motivational people that help motivate me, like my mom, one of the players, one of the more seasoned players out of the orchestra, Mr. John Rayburn. He has really motivated me a lot. And I'd like to thank Belize Bank for creating this opportunity and providing this scholarship for me to go travel and to learn these things that I never really expected to learn, at this time. And so I'm really grateful for that.
I'm grateful for this opportunity to be able to go away. I would owe it to Belize Bank or Mr. Giuseppe from Belize Bank.
First of all, I want to thank Belize Bank for actually sponsoring our trip to Trinidad, and the fact that they had a vision for sending 3 people to Trinidad to actually acquire the necessary knowledge in our instrument and actually to bring it back is something good, because what that does, it actually helps the other members, because when you actually, like, for example, when we came back to Trinidad, other members were like, okay, they came back from Trinidad, and there's something that's like a working thing, because everybody next year you have people talking about, oh, you want to go to Trinidad next year as well. So it is like something that motivates the others, young people. So I think that's something that the Belize Bank has started.
We are committed to this initiative. My goal is that in 5 to 7 years, Belize will have a youth orchestra consisting of about 100 players that can tour the Caribbean, that can tour Central America, and at the end of the day, these kids will be very productive citizens and hopefully will be future leaders in Belize. That really is the objective, to build a better society.
With the newfound dedication of these young players, backed by the support of Niche and the assistance of the Belize Bank, there is no doubt that music will continue to blossom in our land by the sea.